on top of the world, about to jump above it. Take it straight to the moon, 'cause we know how to rock it. Ain't no thing you can do, ain't no way to stop it. Now you're feeling it too, let's get it started. Throw your hands in the air while the beat is dropping. Acting like you don't care when everybody's watching. Just keep whipping your hair like that, you got it. Yeah, you're feeling it too, let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Charts off the meter, turn it up, blow the speakers, make them all to believers. Break through the surface, tell them open the curtains, give them all what they wanted, yeah. Now let's get started. Let's get it, get it. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? I'm ready. Let's get it started. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Let's go. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it, get it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it. Yeah. Give me something new. Time to break loose. Take it to another level. Now we on the move. Shout if you coming with me. Going over the limit. On your mark, keep it steady. So tell me, are you ready? I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started.
And I
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. We are set to go here tonight from the virtual Iowa Speedway, located in the cornfields of Newton, Iowa. Rusty Wallace built this track back in the late 90s to be back what it is today. And this awesome facility since the 2000s has offered some exciting racing from Indy cars to the trucks to NASCAR. And it's awesome to be on the iRacing simulator. And it is round number 10, the penultimate round of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. We're ready for 100 laps here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. Good evening. I am Wesley Outland. Joined alongside is a new colleague of mine in the booth, Kevin England. And Kevin England, this is going to be an awesome race. You're filling in for Greg Rentz. What an awesome track to come out of your debut at the Iowa Speedway for the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. Should be a fun century grind tonight. Welcome aboard. Kevin, can you hear me, buddy? Kevin England, you got a copy? So it sounds like Kevin England having some technical issues. We'll try to get back with him momentarily here. Race at the Iowa Speedway. We're about 8 minutes away from getting this race underway for these drivers. By the way, there's quite a field of cars. And I will tell you this, there will not be heat races. There will not be consies. There's kind of a different format than usual for tonight's race in the Iowa Speedway format. Thanks to Troy Daggett and Eric Cheney, Dan Lowther for giving us the information. Tonight's event is 100 laps. And by the way, we'll tell you the race information down on the bottom left of the monitor. It is 100 laps. They are practicing 3-lap lone qualifying session, which is already completed. That's already been done. We didn't even see that. And they're just going to line up because of the size of this track for a 100-lap feature. Now, there is one fast repair available. Normally, they don't have fast repairs. Normally, they don't have extra sets of tires. They are having one. Maximum number of cars to start will be 43. No heat races, no consies. Again, there will be 2 attempts at a green-white checker if necessary in this 100-lap feature. Everyone in qualifying going to the main. There is an invert of the top 20. And again, by the way, at lap 50. There will be a competition caution to change tires. And again, the tires have to be used before or at the competition caution. They cannot be used after. So before or lap 50 at competition yellow, you can use tires. England, are you here with me now? Kevin England, you ready to go here at Iowa Speedway? Your thoughts, sir? Okay, so I think we're still trying to get him here. So what we'll do is we got about 7 minutes until the drop of the green flag. We'll step away. We'll thank our sponsors, so you'll see more green flag action. We're ready. It's coverage of the penultimate round of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series, Round 10, Iowa Speedway. They wrap it up next week at Concord, and you're watching iRacing on LSRTV. We're back in a moment.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it?
They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Welcome back to the virtual Iowa Speedway, round number 10 of the penultimate round of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series at Iowa. I am Wesley Outland. Kevin England's finally with me. Kevin, what a racetrack we're going to see here tonight. What a race we're going to see tonight.
Hey, I'm excited to see this, and what a perfect track for these cars. It's just an outstanding venue to show the speed, show the handling, show the drafting. These guys are going to have a blast racing this track under the lights tonight.
Time under the lights here at the, again, virtual Iowa Speedway, 100 laps. And here's the thing, Kevin, no qualifying, no heat races. You qualify the way you do from your 3-lap lone qualifying, top 20 on the invert, and then you line up and you go 100 laps. Normally we do heat races and qualifying. How do you think that's going to set things up here tonight?
I think it doesn't change anything. You're just going to hammer down from the start. We know we got that break in the middle where they're going to change tires. You know, you got one fast repair. So there's a lot of room on this racetrack to move around. I think it's going to be about tire management, track positioning, and, all those things that come with a normal track that runs so fast like this one here at Iowa.
Well, we're getting ready in just a few moments to give you the starting lineup, as again, we've got over 20-plus drivers, 23 to be exact, ready to go here. And this is the lone qualifying that's going on track right now, is what I've been told. So lone qualifying is actually underway. We're not seeing it, but again, we're getting ready for that event. Let's take a look at the weather conditions. 79 degrees, air temp, track temp at 80. Wind speed at 11 miles an hour. Kevin, what's the downforce going to be like for these cars fighting that wind virtually, especially down the back stretch here at Iowa?
Yeah, there's just enough wind when you get above that 5-10 mile an hour mark to move the cars around when you get down into the corner, depending on whether you're head on into it or it's pushing you across the track. What I'm more interested in is that track temp, 80 degrees, partly cloudy here tonight. That means there's going to be a lot of grip. These drivers you have to be really careful babying that right front, driving into the corner, driving off of the corner. I think it's going to be a pretty racy surface here tonight at Iowa.
Certainly is. And again, 2.5 minutes away from getting this field gridded up for 100 laps. And again, normally we're used to seeing qualifying, locking in nobody. Then you go into a last chance race from the heat races, and then, you know, invert the top 12 or so. Maybe next week at Concord it'll be that way, but this is a 7/8 of a mile racetrack here at the Iowa Speedway, just shy of a mile. And of course, you want to talk about hashtag more short tracks. This definitely lives up to the alley and the tune of it. You've had NASCAR run here. You've had, of course, the trucks and Xfinity. You've had also the IndyCar series also compete. And in addition to that, you know, so many other K&N Sportsman ARCA events and more. So this place has held a venue of awesome racing throughout the decades here at the Iowa Speedway. We're about 2 minutes away from getting this underway. Obviously, you got 100 laps. You know about the tire rule there, Kevin. You know, you can change a tire, a fast repair if need be. Usually the Northwest Pro Late Model Series does not have that.
Yeah, these guys, they're going to have to mine the space tonight when they get down underneath another car, trying to make sure that they can keep it clean coming up off the corner, not pinch the car down too much. And, you know, there is going to be a bit of a draft in here. We were looking at practice earlier. Cole Raz had some of the fastest times. I wouldn't be surprised when we get out of qualifying here to see him somewhere up in the top. The question is, I think with the space and the speed of this racetrack, we're going to have some long green flag runs. Those drivers that were fast in practice, did they have the fast speed initially, and do they have the long run pace to stay up there?
Yeah, it just varies, my friend. We really don't know, Kevin, if we're going to see the opportunity for a long green flag run. Obviously, that can present itself. But in addition to that, we might see a yellow flag fiesta. Cautions breed cautions. You're at a short track driving it like a super speedway, if you will. And we'll see what kind of patience these guys have. If you go to the whip quickly and you start tearing stuff up, you know you got a fast repair. That obviously comes to the mindset. But again, you know, we'll see how that all transcends here in about 10 seconds from now and less, as we are about ready to count down to 0. We're about to give you that Team 126 racing start.
What? How are we going to? Okay.
We are in warm-ups. We are in warm-ups right now. So, all right. So I'm understanding we're having another issue there, and getting these cars ready to go. And again, they're on the racetrack. This is their warm-up session, mind you. This is their warm-up. Final time to get underway. I think Charles is going to join me a time or two. I think we're having some technical issues on the mic for Kevin England. I apologize for that. But Charles, I'll ask you this question. We ain't worked together in a broadcast in a long time, besides in the production chair for you. What do you think these drivers are taking advantage of? Because usually you qualify, you have an invert, you heat race, you run consi. Now you're going in the red with just this practice session before you go 100 laps, and you know you got a fast repair and a set of tires to boot. Welcome aboard.
We go. Now we got it. Okay, yeah, so I haven't been in the booth. That's why I'm having issues. But, yeah, one set of tires on the car plus one set in the pits, and you have to change them at lap 50. I think it's going to level this playing field a ton. So, you know, it's really something different. You know, I haven't seen a competition caution in any form of racing in quite some time, way back in the game in the NASCAR days.
Right, yeah, for sure. And we'll see how this all develops as these drivers get ready to go. Kevin England again. Hopefully we can get him back in the booth. But right now, Charles Wooten, he ain't no slouch in the production chair or in calling races. He is ready to go here for coverage of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. Hopefully my regular partner and colleague in Spokane, Washington, Greg Rentz, can join us next Wednesday for the finale at Concord. Boy, I'll tell you what, a lot of cool things going on. And, man, we'll definitely see what goes on when these drivers get in the racetrack 2 minutes before it goes. And, you know, Charles, I can handle the echo, brother. It's kind of like finish line. But definitely these drivers going around this racetrack, I know it's 7/8 of a mile. I know you're going to run it like a short track, but it's honestly big enough to be ran like a super speedway. And these late model cars are going to be pushed to the limit in less than 2 minutes to green.
Yeah, they are definitely going to be pushed to the limits. And, you know, these guys that haven't got a win yet this season, they're really going to push it to the limits here tonight. As there's tonight and then there's next week. That's it. The season's over. You know, some of them will go on to race real life, you know, whatever. That's the thing. But as far as sim racing goes here for the Northwest Pro Late Series, this is almost it. 2 races left, and they have no shot of winning till next season. So they want to get on top. They want to go out with a bang, and they come into next season with a bang as well. So, yeah, this is a good track. I think they're going to have some really, really good racing. And like you said, it's got the speed, you know, of a super speedway. You know, obviously not 200 miles an hour, but for a short track, it is very fast. And like you said, I think it could produce some really good racing.
And I will say this as well, Bud, as we get ready for this race to get underway, as you just mentioned, you know, a totally different format, nothing like what we normally do. Normally we go through the alphabet soup and the heats and the consies, and now you're just going out there in the blind with just qualifying and you know, an invert, and that invert obviously changes everything if you're not in the top 20. So that's going to make it interesting as well. So we'll see how things go. And you know what Kevin England said, you know, we could see possibly the aggression, or we could see a relaxed race with the green flag run, and then you go back and give it all you got down the stretch.
Yeah, and we'll see here. We're going to I think we got Kevin's mic sorted out. So, Kevin, yeah, you got a copy?
I do, yeah. Let's see if we can get this sorted out. And I'm eager to call this event. And how's it sounding to you guys? We're good now?
I think we're good now, and I'm as eager for you to call this as I am, because I don't want to call this. So I'm glad, yes. We just had a little bit of an echo. We've got that sorted out. So, Wesley, you don't have to hear my voice anymore. The fans don't have to hear it, because I know they don't want to. So, you know, I'm going to get back into the production booth where I belong and make this thing look pretty, and I'm going to let y'all take it from here.
Charles, I've always wanted to say this to you. You're fired for this broadcast only.
First off, you can't fire me, so but I'll take it. Y'all have a good broadcast.
Yeah, exactly. He'll go back to doing the production. By the way, Rocket Media, Live Sim Racing, of course. We have, of course, Mason Heimbaugh, of course, Charles Wooten, and Jeff Stabnow, Rocket Media and Live Sim Racing TV in the production chair. Kevin is back with us, and Kevin, they're getting ready to grid, buddy. We're about ready to give you the starting lineup here. Remember the top 20 on the invert, and they're going to go 100 laps. It's go time. Team 126 Racing starting lineup here at Iowa Speedway awaits round number. Row number 2 on the grid. We'll find Zach Rush in 82, Austin Ackerman in the 05. Row 3, Colton Garber in the 59, Tyler Kim in the 38. Row number 4 on the grid is Bill Groves in the number 12, Troy Daggett in that Benford Tools number 9 machine. And to round out your top 10, David Cannon, Ron Hunter. Kevin, your top 10 as you give them the rest of the rundown here at Iowa.
Ryan Reynolds in the 20 inside. And on the outside, Angelo Ortega in the number 10. Andrew Lemke in the number 5, followed by the 63 of Dan Lother. Dylan Huffins runs the 7, and in the 25, to his outside, it'll be Ryan Bloom. Kenneth Garber in the 96, and followed by the triple-digit 137 of Caden Anderson. Evan Smith in the 0-0, double nothing on the inside. Pole sitter, fast time, 21 for Cole Rask here tonight. Barry Ackerman in the 22 is going to be on the inside. Scott Airy in the 81 starts to his outside. Troy Olson in the 49. This shotgun on the field as we get ready for 100 laps of action. West, the butterflies for these drivers has to be really high at this point.
Yeah, the lights are off for the pace car and the field ready to come to the green flag here at any moment. Again, 100 laps. Remember that caution break in lap number 50, one fast repair, one set of tires you can use before lap 50, not after. Camary on the front row after the redraw, Alex Duda to the outside. Penultimate round, Northwest Pro Late Models. They're a century grind around the Iowa cornfields. Here at the Speedway, they come to the line, green in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. And look at these Pro Late Models. Send it Camary. We'll get the whole shot, Kevin, in turn number 1 and 2.
Clean up to the backstretch, good run down along the backstretch fence heading to turn 3. He's got about a 4-car length lead over Alex Duda as they go into turn 3 and 4 for the first time, side by side behind them. In the action, about 5th, 6th position is Zach Rush down on that low line. They try to settle in, but look back there, 3-4 wide on the screen.
And we got a caution. Yellow flag is out. We got trouble on the speedway as there are almost 2 rows, 3 rows, 3 by 3. And we've got calamity on the front straightaway as we... Kevin, you talked about it. Basically, man, obviously, in the early going, you're going to have cautions here, and I wasn't expecting it, but you called it 3 laps in, and we already got a yellow flag.
Yeah, and this is not the way these guys want to start this out. They do have one quick repair. They probably wanted to just hold the car straight, get to that center of the race, and then hammer down at the end. And if they got crashed at the end, they could do that reset and run it hard to the end. And, you know, this breaks the continuity of those drivers who were just starting to settle in, get up to speed, try and find a rhythm, and were under caution for the first time. But, you know, they'll get that. A couple of those cars reset, and we'll fire off again, and it'll be just like a clean restart.
Cars out of the pit lane, Ackerman and Allison having work done on their machines. 4 laps in of 100. And obviously another thing, caution laps do count in the feature. Normally they don't count in the heat races or in the consies, but for the feature race, we do let caution laps count. 2 attempts at a green-white checker if necessary. And again, as we did reiterate on, if the caution does come out, 2 attempts, green-white checker. If there's a yellow flag, tire break on lap number 50, halfway break on lap 50 to change tires. Obviously, they want to do that as well. 4 of 100.
You see the 49 car, Olson, right in front of your leader. It looks like he did not beat the pace car out, so he's going to sit there until they let him go by. Now he's going to draw around and turn the field over to the top of the stack there as everybody gets ready. Rack 'em, stack 'em, restart it. Let's get it going one more time here at Iowa.
Lights are off for the pace car. We'll get ready to go back for the restart.
It's a nervous time just as much as the start of the race. At this point, these drivers were ready to go. They were hammered down, and then the yellow comes out right away. They kind of roll their eyes and groan, but now they know they're going to get back to business as the pace car turns left, going to turn the field over to the 15. looking up at the starter, waiting for that green, and it's hammered down. They're going to all fire off and head to turn one.
Field goes back to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Kamari, Duda, Ackerman, Kim, and Rush right there at the top 5 down the back straightaway. Here we go again, Kevin. They're going 3 wide again. Oh, my goodness. I don't think they're taking your advice. Oh, he got one to the wall. He went head first into the wall out of turn 4. Caution is out. You just saw on the upper right the blue car finally coming to a rest. And that's Grog and the number 12 iRacing machine. And oh, wow. Bill Gross. I'm sorry, it's Bill Gross. Bill Gross and the number 12. And Kevin, I just said, buddy.
Yeah, it just feels like he lost track of the car to his outside and got quarter panel. Did not know he was up there, moved up to give room to the space on the inside, and unfortunately clipped it, went hard into the wall, end over end, barrel rolled, and that fast repair is going to have to be used there. That car,
we're going to, Kevin, we got to go at extended replay and go on board with Bill. We have to on the number 12 on board extended. Not tonight. I'm understanding only the production will show one replay. Never mind. Don't take your Dramamine. It's okay.
Yeah, I got a little dizzy watching that. The funny thing about it is, while it's him, it is spectacular in the car sometimes. Sometimes you're both mad and elated because, you're mad that you got wrecked and the car got destroyed, but sometimes the physics and the feeling of flipping like that is so cool that you go, wow, that was cool. I'm going to say that. Unexpected 2 quick cautions. Wow. Sometimes they got to work this out of their system, and they're going to get it out of the pipe, so to speak, and then we'll fire off and have these long green flag runs as we see Ross still down there on pit road getting some service done to that car.
Lap 8 of 100 completed. Under caution.
It's good for the 22 of Terry Ackerman. Looks like he was the free-pass car. He's going to go around and line up in our 22 position, joins the back of the field here. So some of these drivers do appreciate these early cautions, let them get reset, troubles in the early going.
So the light's still on the pace car. We're working now lap number 9, 8 laps completed, as I mentioned. Chris Kamari, the man out in front. Kamari leads. Alex Duda second. Tyler Kim up 3 spots to third. Ackerman Austin, that is, in fourth. Colton Garber fifth. Zach Rush is in sixth. Seventh is Caden Anderson up 11 spots, coming back from a suspension last week or 2 weeks ago because we were off last week. Troy Daggett, David Cannon, and Ryan Bloom in the top 10. The lights are now off on the pace car. The 1-to-go indication is being given.
Anyway, the Caden Anderson up 11 positions. Not sure if he's got the Tom Cruise thing going on with all the right moves, but he's just made a lot of headway here in just a few short laps of racing. A lot of that action was going on right in its place. He could have just picked the right hole and dive through it. But 7th position up 11 spots. That's pretty complimentary here in the early going.
Lights off for the pace car. Ready to come back for the restart. It'll be 90 laps to go. 40 laps to the mandatory break at halfway. Pace car coming in. Kamari, Duda, ready to bring him to speed. Cam Ackerman behind them. He couldn't go in time. Boy, oh boy. Chris Kamari, the 15, getting a big jump over the field. How in the world did that happen? Kim and Duda falling back big time to the leaders. Almost half a second as they go to turn 3, Kevin.
Yeah, it looked like he was shot out of the cannon and had an extra gear just hit that restart right up through the gears. He's drawn off almost to a half-second lead already, but everybody else back here is scrapping, looking back here about 7th, 8th, 9th, they're side by side. Just, I think one of the things, Wes, is they're going to want to find that low line early on. Just have the ability to get single file, let the car roll up off the corner, not use up those tires, and make their way forward. You see these drivers just a little off that yellow line. If you touch that apron, and especially off of turns 1 and 2, it's going to loosen the car up. You're going to have yourself a handful. You just got to be careful. But a lot of these drivers, 1 lane up, 2 lanes up, 3 lanes up, they're going to look for whatever racetrack works for them.
Inside, here they work out of turn number 4. Kamari, the leader, Kim, Duda. Look at now this battle in the top 5 between Anderson and Ackerman. Cannon and Huffines now in the mix as well. They work through the back straightaway into turn number 3. As Daggett goes up the racetrack, he's changed his colors on his car, by the way. Kevin England, he might have done it just for you. Normally he's in the bin for tools, yellow and red, number 9 tonight. He's actually in the blue and white number 9 bin for tools machine.
Decided purple was his color here for the night scheme.
Oh, that is a purple car. My apologies. I'm colorblind. Here comes Cannon down to the inside, trying to get around on Ackerman for that spot to sneak in the top 5. Anderson ready to go as well, as they work their way up the racetrack off of turn number 4. Finally got settled in on a good green. Yes, sir.
And right behind him, Brian Reynolds. It almost looks like he's clogging the lane for Brian. Brian looks a little bit faster. Got 2 back up and then had to back off. Brian's getting such a good run up off the corner. I'm just not sure if that lower lane is going to help these guys when they run down there. They're pinching the car down. They use it a little more time, might build a little more heat. And now that they got that caution coming up, but Brian looks pretty good coming up off the corner.
Off of turn 4. Daggett up the racetrack. Here comes Huffines. Dilly to the inside. Right and dirty on the back of that spoiler. And he'll go to the inside, and he'll take now Ryan Bloom with him. Ryan Bloom, the 2021 ARCA Northwest Series champion. Cannon now trying to get around Reynolds in the 20. The Superflow Cole Tricker colors from Days of Thunder. And we're about to be 7 laps away from a quarter of the way through this event. And finally, Kevin, a good green flag run underway as well.
Just had to get it out of their system, and you could look all the way through this. There's different battles going on right now. And that lead battle up there has tightened up. Tyler King has driven up to the back bumper of your leader, and everybody else is following them up, tightening up that top 5.
Coming through the tri-oval, 20 laps in. Up the racetrack,
for that 3rd position.
Yeah, and you know, Kevin, we're watching now Anderson hooking up with Garber, and they're trying to help push each other through the field, and that's up to 3rd and 4th now for the 137 to the 59.
As we watch it side-by-side battle, trouble for Terry Ackerman. He's down on pit road. We saw the car slow on the apron. He's just trying to get himself to pit road. Car smoking. I think that might be the end for the number 22 tonight. One end of that Chevrolet is just absolutely destroyed. But this battle for your lead is right there, and here comes the look. He's going to take the peak underneath. They're going to be side by side on the entry to the corner. There comes Anderson making the charge up out. He's got good speed. Question is, will the outside lane gain momentum and prevail? Right now, Henry is right on the outside, but what a drive in Anderson got. And leader change here, lap 23.
Anderson going to the lead, as you mentioned, in the lead change. Kamari also to the inside. Here comes Reynolds after Smith. Lowther also behind him, the 63. Smith, Reynolds, Lowther. Cannon behind him as well. They'll work their way through him. Here they go 3 wide again. Oh my goodness. Look out, Kevin Smith from Hermiston, Washington. Solid black 00, works full time. Tom Denchel, Automotive Group General Manager. And we're excited that the Northwest Racing Series has officially got their at least scheduling ideas or ideas of what packages they're using out of the way. Season 3 for the Cup Series will be started off with the Next Gen Cup car on Monday night, 11:30 Eastern. In addition to that, the Truck Series now in Season 9 will move back to Thursday at 11:30 Eastern as well. So again, coming up in March, the Northwest Racing Series Cup on Monday, Trucks on Thursday. Looking forward for my 3rd year being the voice of the Northwest Racing Series, along with Greg Ranson, Samuel Dyer. We'll have coverage as always on the iRacing on LSRTV, as well as the simulcast on the Community Radio Network as well. Field works their way into the back straightaway. It's a gaggle of traffic going at it on lap 27, Kevin.
You would not know that these guys know there's a caution and a respite coming up on lap 50 because they're banging fenders, banging sides, elbows up all the way through this center of the pack here is just fierce as they're all strapped in position. And I love what we're seeing. Bottom line, middle lane, upper lane, all of them just taking whatever they need from this racetrack and find a little speed.
Anderson has opened up over Kamari at 1.2 seconds. Whoa, trouble! Oh no, Reynolds turned! Briar Reynolds nose first into the inside retaining wall. He got turned, got help from Dan Lowther to help just spin him around, and the caution is out after a lengthy green flag run. No caution yet, by the way. Mile, no yellow flag. They haven't thrown out a caution yet, Kevin.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for the 20. But that was an action pack. He got snagged by the 05 and got snagged by the 63 of Lothar. Lothar was dead sideways coming into the corner, somehow gathered that car up and continues on here in the 12th position. And we remain green. That was a huge hit from the 20, but sometimes when you get down on that apron, if you turn the car around and just keep it moving, they're going to let the racing action resume. And we're still under green here in Autumn.
Man, oh man.
What a terrible break for Briar.
Field working their way back through the tri-oval again. And by the way, so the machine of Reynolds, he's in the pit lane right now, but when he got collected in that accident, okay, he was down below the bottom of the apron, below the bottom of the racetrack right here. So maybe the Northwest Pro Late Model Series officials deemed that he was not in the racing groove, if you will, Kevin, and that's why they did not throw the caution. So that's why we stayed green.
The race officials would love to see green flag racing and not interrupt the race. If they have the ability to let it go through and nobody's in jeopardy, they're going to allow this to continue on. And, you know, it's a tough break for the 20 car of Briar Reynolds, but he's now in pit road, called for a tow truck, going to get that car fixed. He has one fast repair, so it's an option for him to come back in, but we continue to pick up what's going on here. And it did spread the field out a little bit where that cluster was. Right now, everybody kind of single filed out. Continues to be Anderson showing the way. He's got a 2-second lead at this point. Oof.
Whoa, we got one on the wall. Banging off another car. Into the infield grass. 35 in. They're driving to the grass. No caution. That is number 5, Limke. Oh, in the middle of the pack. And they got to throw the yellow flag now. Great piece of driving by the back marker cars of Gross and Reynolds to miss him. Andrew Limke, number 5. Yellow flag before we go to commercial break. And look at this again. Limke. Oh, who? Is that Ackerman already in the wall?
Looks
Then you
like
see
Shootout.
Limke. Yeah.
24 had a piece of that. And then it was just election from there.
Nowhere to go, but it was Alex Duda, by the way, as you said there, Kevin, into the outside wall, came back down, collected a couple of more cars, and understanding we're going to stay with you here until we get to halfway, because we are approaching the halfway mark, is again number 5 going around, and that is, of course, Andrew Limke. Kevin, your take of the race so far. We just ended what was probably about a nice 20-lap green flag run.
Yeah, we thought we'd get some green flag racing here tonight with the speed and shape of this racetrack, and we weren't disappointed. That was an outstanding run, a lot of different actions through, and I went back and took one little further peek. It looks like Lothar got a little bit high, lost the handle on that, and got into the number 24. And you see these cars, they have such aggressive camber on that right front that when they rub the wall, they tend to jump up a little bit. Well, a couple of cars got damaged there, but this is going to reset it. And what does this mean for Anderson? He's got a different second place car here. It looked like he was on cruise control. These cars do benefit from fresh air there, West, but I have to wonder if he ran some of the good off of his tires. Will he be able to take us to the break?
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens here as again. We're 13 laps to go. My apologies, 13 laps to go. And the question is this, Kevin, as we get ready to go back for the restart here in a few more laps, are these drivers that are up in the front or actually in the back just kind of sandbagging, if you will, waiting for this opportunity for the 50-lap halfway break to then change tires and make a rally to the front for the shootout?
Yeah, prior to coming in here, I ran a late model race, and I was just thinking about that same dynamic that you raised. We're not sure whether these cars have enough speed that you can drive yourself through the field by driving aggressively in that last half. I think some of those drivers out the back are possibly that dynamic behind those clusters. No, they need to be somewhere in that top 10 if they're going to have a shot at this thing at the end. They're not going to drive from deep in the field all the way through, although some of these drivers like Barber, he's got some pretty good speed, but certainly these drivers up front are no slouch. You can see how quick the outset was for Camry. So make sure he led the first 23 laps and was certainly faster than this lap.
So the field will get ready to come back for the restart here. And it will be a few more laps under caution. It's going to be at least 62 remaining. 12 laps until we get to the halfway break.
I can assure you this track looks wide and it looks, like why would they make contact if they just stay apart from each other? But, when you drive it down in the corner, you're right at the edge of the grip. You're trying to get as much as you can for speed. And it is complicated to hold your line if somebody's to the outside. We talked about the wind conditions here tonight. And with the number of laps we have, drivers are experiencing a little bit of tire wear. They're not going to be able to hook that corner in the impact the way they want. These cars are a handful. They are not that easy to drive, but yet we saw that long green flag run. We saw a lot of the acumen of these drivers and how good they were in traffic. I think we're just setting up to have a spectacular race.
It'll be 10 laps to the halfway break. 60 laps to go when we come back to the green flag.
You set your top 10.
Pace.
Anderson, Evans in second. Raz, Garber, Kamir, Bloom, Garber. That's Colton Garber. Tyler Kidd and Dan Luther. And Austin Ackerman is in 10th. Green flag out. Back to action here in Iowa.
Back to it again as the field comes back into turn number 1 and 2. Anderson now going to deal with Cole Raz. Good friends hanging up with one another down in the 1 and 2 spots. Huffines right there with him. Garber to 4th, Kamari 5th, and they work into 3. Stay to the inside. Anderson, half a car length back. Raz up the speedway. Here comes Huffines to the inside, to the outside. Goes Raz, inside, Huffines. Garber can't decide where to go, left or right, as they're door-to-door for the second spot in the corner out of 2.
Yeah, Huffines, that car was completely sideways at 1 and 2. He had a lot of yaw. He was in the slip, but hard on the throttle. Put back just a little bit, have a single file out, and he's under attack. You're going to get a look underneath from Kenneth Garber. Garber draws side by side here at the front straightaway as they dive into turn 1. He's going to have the preferred line. And, they're going to, wow, there is no reason why they both didn't go to the fence. Unbelievable driving by both of them to find car control there. That's going to let the top 2 come out, and they're going to have to reset.
Yeah, the field will work their way back around the start-finish line. Is Anderson now still leading? Look at this battle now. Kevin Smith, nice, comfortable drive for him. On the inside, outside Garber's car, 95. The other Garber. As there goes Kenneth Garber now being passed by Kevin Smith. Well, that goes on correction. Actually, that's Colton Garber. And there is now Dan Lowther getting some company. Going around.
They got a good run.
Turn 4, Lowther. Yes, sir. Yeah. And then you see now Smith falling back as here comes now Kim trying to get back up and getting something started there. Ryan Bloom clears in front of Lowther, and we're 5 laps away next time around for the halfway break.
Side-by-side battle for the lead up there as everybody is just elbows up all the way through the field. Cole Raz down underneath your leader, looking to see if he can take that spot. We said how fast he was in practice on the short run, demonstrating his speed here on the long run still. Caden Anderson not going to give that up. Good charge to the outside. He's going to drive it deep into turn number 3. Sure looks like that bottom line is going to prevail up out of the corner, and that's what's going to happen. New leader, Cole Raz, as they come across the line, he's going to lead lap number 47.
The laps winding down here. Back straight away again in stage number 1. They'll come back, they'll reset. Remember, they get a new set of tires as well. Take advantage of that fast repair possibly too if you are damaged.
And certainly
Raz.
Right? The first half of this race was about how are the tires, how's the car treated, where's the right line for the temperature of the track. As we're going to close out these segments and they get that break, all of them are going to have to do the math and figure out how to get themselves in a position to win the second half.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, bud. As Raz is now the man out in front, finally gun around Anderson. And, of course, Anderson coming back. He wants to redeem himself. He got suspended after altercation with a driver a couple of weeks ago on social, and they parked him for the last race, and he wasn't able to run. And now he's back with us, and there's the caution. They'll wait for everybody to cross the start-finish line of the scoring loop, and then they will throw the yellow flag, and they've already done so. Halfway break is upon us now as we have officially completed 50 laps. 50 laps are down, 50 laps remain. Again, you can take on a new set of tires, and again, a fast repair is an option. That is any time in this race. But Kevin, that new set of tires, you have to have done before or now and that's it. You can't do it without 50 laps to go. You cannot do this. This is now the time to do it.
Right, so these drivers have to mentally lock in that they're done. Last set of tires going on, and they know what kind of tire wear probably. After they change tires, they can see the percentage of abuse that they had for each of the corners that everybody down there on the flat thing compared. It's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how they come up pit road and whether they race any differently or whether they're just wide open for that second half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Here come the cars onto the pit lane. As we said, pit stops, they're going to get work done. They're going to change tires. Obviously, repairs necessary if need be. And this is something that the Northwest Racing Series drivers do not get to do usually. Usually they come down, and when they drop the green flag, what you get is what you get. No fast repairs, no changing tires. You got to find a way to conserve tires to the finish. But Iowa Speedway, like I said, when we came on the air, Kevin England, you drive it like it's a super speedway. You're going to use up your tire wear. You're going to use up your cars. This racetrack really uses up tires as well. We're halfway. We're going to break. And a shootout with 50 laps to go awaits us for the Northwest Pro Late Model penultimate race of the season at Iowa in the cornfields. This is iRacing on LSRTV, and there's your top 5.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers. An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Welcome back. There's your top 5. After the pit stops, we're ready now to go to the shootout here. And caution laps are counting, but I think they're going to probably add these laps back as we welcome you back. Caution on lap 50. No, they're not. Okay, so actually the caution laps are counting here. So, yeah, 54 of 100 laps, 46 laps to go when they come back to the restart zone. He's Kevin England. I'm Wesley Outland. Kevin, your take of the first 50 laps, and now everybody has got 4 new signs of rubber. If they took advantage of it, you better did. If you didn't, it's gone. And then, of course, a repair if need as well.
So you have to believe that everybody took tires. So we saw that. We saw a couple drivers slide through their pit, have to back up. They were a little more delayed, so that's going to hurt them. Still, though, I see some cars just a touch of damage. So I think a couple of these drivers, I don't know if they're anticipating incident. They're going to duck in and get a clean car afterwards. But, yeah, there's a couple of them that didn't leverage that fast repair.
Lights are off on the pace car. We await the restart. 45 laps to go when they come back to the restart zone. Let's set them up for you now. After that halfway break, Huff finds up 14 spots leads. Garber second up 15, up 17 Cole Raz. Ryan Bloom up 12, fourth, and Anderson up 13-5. Lowther, Kamari, Kim, Smith, and Ackerman. Field comes back. Top 10, green flag, all on the line. We're back to it again here at Iowa Speedway. And look, Huff Fines gets the jump on the restart and pulls away in 1.
Although he looked a little nervous in 1 and 2, but he's looking at side by side, get cover to the outside. 27 of Cole Raz. Raz using as much racetrack as he needs. They're still side by side as they cross the line. Outside has the advantage.
What happened, Charles?
So nothing going out, right? I'm going to put us in TeamSpeak and send that through somehow.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the Community Radio Network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it?
They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are watching on iRacing on LSR TV, obviously see the blank screen. For some reason, we have had a massive network server failure at our LSR TV production studios, and for that reason, we're having issues connecting back to iRacing. Unfortunately, we are not able to continue this broadcast. We'll be back, obviously, on Thursday with the double headers of the iRail Speed Weeks. Of course, again, you also have the coverage of the main sim racing series as well tomorrow. So again, tonight's broadcast, remaining of it, has been called because we have had a massive network failure and we are unable to show the end of it. But Kevin, your thoughts of what we saw? It was pretty good racing until whatever happened went down.
Yeah, no doubt. This was getting good. These drivers were showing their acumen for whatever they set up for the end of the race. And unfortunately, we're not going to get a chance to call that action. But kudos to these guys for an outstanding race up until the point of failure.
Yeah, it was a fun time. For Kevin England, I'm Wesley Outland. Thanks to everybody at Live Sim Racing Productions. Again, this is something that we can't help. And now we're quickly going to go in tech